Astal is an exclusive game and I had no idea it existed at all until I was able to research it on the web under the title of Hidden Gems. Because for whatever reason this game was never released in Europe, so naturally I missed it. But I know for a fact, if I owned this game as a child, I would have played it every day with no regrets. I got my copy a few weeks ago from Japan, and even though I needed a translator to figure out the story, I was absolutely blown away. The entire game has this fantastic style that makes the whole world look like some sort of canvas that was painted on. Plus the soundtrack in this game, I do not have words to describe how this game makes me feel. From start to finish I enjoyed every last note and eagerly awaited and wondered what the next stage will delight me with. Also, this game has such a different feel to every other game that I own. There is no word in my vocabulary to explain what I mean, so hopefully by the end of this video, you might have some form of understanding of what I mean. So here we go. When you boot up the game, you are told a neat little creationist story about how Astal's world came to be. Somewhere in the universe, the goddess Antoas created a world from a single jewel. On this world, Cordelia, she created the sky, the earth, and the air. To inhabit this world she created two humans. From the green jewel, a girl named Lita, who had the power to make things into the world. And from the red jewel, a boy, Astal, whose sole purpose was to protect Lita. Content with her creation, Antoas slept. While she slept, the evil Gerardo tried to take over the planet. To ensure victory, Gerardo created a warrior, Geist. Geist kidnapped Lita and held her at the bottom of the ocean. In an effort to get her back, Astal tore the planet apart. Awakening Antoas. As punishment, Antoas banished Astal to the planet's moon. Lita took pity on Astal and gave her a jewel. Once Astal and Gerardo were dealt with, Antoas went back to sleep. However, Geist was still free, and the planet was not restored from the changes that Gerardo wrought. From his prison on the moon, Astal witnessed Geist kidnapping Lita again, consumed with the need to protect her. He freed himself and returned to the planet. Now Astal's journey to search for Lita through the planet, transformed by Gerardo's dark design, begins. You see, if you had purchased the American version, you wouldn't have to sit down and translate all of that into English. Now then, with that lore embedded into your minds, let's take a look at the game. The gameplay is your standard platformer, however, there are a good number of things that you can do that makes this game stand out from all the rest, from your run-of-the-mill jumping games. For one, jumping on enemies does nothing, only giving you a slight boost into the air to reach other obstacles. If you want to cause some damage, you're gonna have to use those arms of yours to toss smacking these guys into the ground. But some enemies need a little strategy to be able to take them out, like hitting the ground or blowing them away, and sometimes combining attacks. And if that wasn't enough for you, at the start of the adventure, you free a bird that can help you out a lot, by fetching food for your health, to attacking bad guys that you can't reach. I'm pointing out and helping you to reach difficult parts of the level, and there are parts where you really do need this bird. Plus, if you have a second controller, somebody can control the bird. So I think that's pretty neat. The art direction for this game is just fantastic. I always used to say the first Rayman game was the most beautiful 2D game, but now that I've played this, I'm not so sure. Everything has a washy watercolour feel to it, and it just suits the atmosphere beautifully. Because the music has always got the same feel, using these elements together really conveys how you should play it. This isn't Sonic where you can blast through and you can just enjoy yourself with the happy music. You must take your time, think and use your different attacks to your advantage. As I mentioned before with the story, the world is now a former shadow of itself. Kinda reminds me of something else. So when you make your way through the stages, you get sucked into how the world makes you feel. When I play Sonic, the colours and the music make me feel so happy. But this game makes me feel close to more of a sombre mood. This is still very enjoyable to play, don't get me wrong, but when I play this I didn't have a smile until the end of the happy ending. I was straight-faced all the way through. It felt like waking up from a dream and finding everything you know to be in ruins. It's a very difficult feeling to describe, but I'm sure the people who have played this game might have an idea what I'm trying to say. However, this game isn't all that good. Underneath all the bells and whistles there are a few problems. Only minor problems, but still something I need to address. And I have to make it clear that these did not stop me from enjoying the game, but I feel like if this game got re-released today, then modern gamers would get very annoyed quickly with these problems. First off, this game tries to be an arcade game, with a set number of lives and a difficulty with a set control that you have to learn from. However, throughout my gameplay I noticed that it tried to be innovative. Now that isn't a bad thing, but an arcade game has you sticking to a simple set of rules with a game getting harder. In this game, you have those rules, you have the game getting harder, but new things keep showing up, and you are given very little time to know what to do, especially in some later parts of the boss battles. And when you lose all of your lives, you get sent right back to the start. There are no continues. This may not sound like a big deal to you, and it wasn't really a big deal to me either, but today's modern entertainment shows us how to do things safely and then given a chance to do it ourselves. Hell, even games from the 8-bit era do that. But this game was part of the 5th generation, and I feel as though it took a step back, and I think it's lucky that it's still regarded as a hidden gem in the Saturn library, because if this game was released today, people wouldn't be happy. This game shows its age very well. But if you're looking for an old school feel, then look no further. But if you want a fair and consistent platformer with great level design and gameplay, then go somewhere else. I would recommend Rayman, or Sonic, or Mario, or Mega Man. Hell, there's a lot to choose from, don't take my word for it. But hey, if this game got a reinstallment, or a sequel, I think it would fit very well indeed on the 3DS. Eh? Come on, I think it's time. Come on, you deserve money, Sega. You're in big fucking trouble right now. But now the nitpicky part is over, and I would still say to everybody, give this game a chance. There is a reason it isn't known very well, but there are plenty more reasons why you need to experience this. It's so difficult to find a piece of art like this that still holds up today. Nowadays companies are making remakes of old titles to ensure good experience, but I promise you this needs no remake, no remaster, it just needs you. Just let the magic take over, and what you thought you knew about video games will be blasted out the window with this marvellous piece of art. Thank you for watching all the way through to this point. If you enjoyed this video, then please watch another one. There are 3 others that have been previously made, and if you're from the future, go to the future and watch some of my future ones. And as customary, I usually give 3 shoutouts, so here we go. Circuits and Coffee, Agent XPQ, and Sexual Lobster. Please check these people out, it's worth it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.